Okay, my name is Jiann Martin. Let us first install Windows 7 from VirtualBox. Let me name my file into Windows 7, and the version I am going to be installing would be the Windows 7 64-bit. Then let's click Next, just follow the recommended settings and create a virtual hard disk now. I chose the VDI and just follow all its recommendations and click Create. Now we have our Windows 7 OS. But first, let me edit its settings. The general looks good, so just don't edit it. Next, the system. Let me add another core. Now just put 3 in there. Add a little bit on the displays. Let me take a look at other peripherals, but I think that's much about it. Then let's click Start to start up the disk. It took a while, but once this window shows up, make sure to click the Windows 7 ISO. Then proceed to start, or rather choose. If done correctly, this would start up the Windows 7 OS. And remember, don't click anything. Just let the system do its job and watch as it unfolds. Okay, let's wait. Okay, it's booting up now. I'm going to pick out all United States options and wait since it is now starting up on its setup. Okay, so here is where you can choose your product key. You can just choose whatever you like. My preference would be, let me find it real quick. It would be the Windows 7 Professional. Click OK. Then tick the I accept the license terms. Click Next. Then just click Next one more time to begin the installation process. Let's just wait for a while. And I'm just going to skip all of this since this takes a while. And now that we are done with the installation, okay, now the OS would would like to restart itself in order to boot up and work properly. Okay, 1 second. Okay, it is now restarting itself. Okay, now we can see the classic Windows 7 startup. Okay, so it still has not finished its installation. Okay, still installing. Okay, I think it wants to restart. And just don't worry if your OS restarts many times since it is still in its initializing step. Just let it do its job. Now the OS wants me to put information. Let me name it something like, for example, Dave. Click next. Password isn't really needed. I will just skip it. And our time zone, let me find it real quick. UTC 8. Next. And click the home network since this is my personal computer I'm using. This again loading up. Here you can see it is now finalizing. And again, don't click anything during its loading phase. And here it is, our Windows 7 OS installed from VirtualBox. Okay, seems to be working. Refresh. Let us check first the My Computer. Okay, our desktop file seems to be in there. We review, libraries. Okay, the default photos are in there. And since we are connected to the internet via an Ethernet cable, let's check first our Internet Explorer to browse up. Okay, the browser on this one really takes a while since this is an old technology and internet at that year or at that generation is still not optimized. Okay, we can also see our device name on it, the Dave. Okay, it seems to be all working. Okay, I think that's all fine now. Let us move on to our second installation, the 2012 one. Now let us make the Windows Server 2012. Click New and name it 2012. Let's find the Windows 2012. I'm gonna choose the 64-bit. Then next. Okay, I'm just gonna leave them be since they are the recommended settings. Okay, click next all the way. Okay, that is still what the VirtualBox wants. Okay, then let us review its settings first. Okay, general, I think that's all good. Nothing to change. Next one, the processor, let us add one. So here in our storage, I will create a virtual optical disk on our optical drive and make sure that you would also select the Windows 2012. Okay, proceed the next ones. Nothing to change here. Nothing either. Okay, then let's just click OK. Then let us start now. Okay, it's loading up. The VirtualBox. Okay, loading. Now we are booting up the OS. Okay, let us make sure to choose the English language. Okay, just gonna click all English or the US. And now it shows that we could now install the OS, so click install now. Okay, just like before, you can choose anything or your preference, but I am going to choose the server with a GUI. Select next. Okay, loading. Then accept all its terms. Then okay. Okay, I will choose the custom only. Then click OK. Should be downloading now. Okay, I'm just going to skip all of this since this takes a while. Okay, so it is nearly done installing. Okay, any minute now. Now it should restart the OS. It would automatically restart. Okay, so this took a while, so I will going to be fast forwarding it. Okay, so let us just skip the product key since we don't have one. Let me type in my password real quick, then enter, and finish. Okay, so here is where the OS wants you to press Control Alt Delete. So let me just find the command for it real quick. You can find it here in the input. Search to keyboard and press it. Okay, so next is I'm going to put in my password that I had logged into earlier. Now this is the Windows Server 2012. So your server manager would automatically come up and lets you configure the server that you are in. I'm just gonna let them be. Gonna change them up. Please scroll down a little bit, but I'm not going to mess anything with it. Just going to review. Okay, so this is just me looking up things on the program, but this is it. The Windows Server 2012 done installed using VirtualBox, and earlier we also had done with the installation of Windows 7 OS. So that's pretty much about it. Thank you for listening. My name is Jiann Martin. Completed the Windows Server 2012 and the Windows 7 OS installation using VirtualBox. Thank you and God